Shit, I'd hate to see what happens when this guy shows up on Nudie Magazine Day. I'm Sam.
Ho 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 ho! Merry Garbage Day! Bam, 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 bam. This is Jackie.
Ricky's Red Revolver Rampage ranks really right up there. I'm Justin, and this is Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
No! What? Hang on!
It stinks.
Hang on!
Get to the chopper! Stinker Man.
Hello, welcome to Stinker Madness, a final this year Christmas movie that stinks.
Is it also the final of the year?
The final podcast of the year?
Yeah.
No, we'll probably sneak one in before New Year's. We'll probably sneak some good, terrible.
We
movie.
could do something. I could put us all on the spot, and we could do
good.
a stay-at-home bad movie day field trip with the Michael Bay 6 Underground horse shit that Netflix just spent $150 fucking million on.
Spoiler alert, I think we're going to watch that after this podcast.
Sounds good.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to watch that thing.
Yeah, what's that called? Six
Underground.
6 Underground, yeah. You expected streaming do's and don't on that next week. Unfortunately, because of the way Netflix is operating, they're not going to put that in the theater, so it won't qualify for this Mad Fuzz.
It will not.
Yeah, which is too bad, because I bet you it's going to suck.
But between that and Outlaw King, Netflix went in $300 million on movies that can only generate the average revenue that they averagely generate.
Wasn't that, oh, no. I'm thinking of a couple years ago with the Will Smith thing, that new Will Smith thing where he...
Bright was not cheap, but it wasn't $150 million.
But the new Will Smith thing with where he's old Will Smith and young Will Smith, that went to the theater.
It went to the theaters, and I don't think even Netflix wouldn't pay for that
Yeah,
fucking shit.
No, we have yet to deal with that. Anyways, we should probably deal with Christmas, because this week, well, I guess this is our last episode before Christmas, so we're going to wish you all a holly jolly happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, because you can wish people happy holidays and Merry Christmas, and you wouldn't be fighting the war on Christmas.
And whenever you want, any Friday, you can just tell somebody it's Aloha Friday.
Yeah, you can do that whenever you want.
Whenever you want, as long as it's a Friday.
Every Monday, you can wish people in my neighborhood Happy Trash Day.
Happy Trash Day.
Happy
Or
Garbage
say
Day.
Happy Monday, and everybody at work look at you like you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Good case of the Mondays. Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 from 1986, correct?
86 or 87. I've got both dates.
Okay, all right.
I'm thinking that what happened is, because it didn't get a real release,
Mhm.
it probably played at a theater or two in 86,
Right.
but its real release was pretty much to video in 87.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We did not bother with Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 because I knew about this movie,
Sure.
and that if you're going to do both, just do the second one because you're going to see both of them anyways.
Yeah.
But Jackie, you watched Silent Night, Deadly Night 1, as it were, without us at some point, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, you know me, I like Christmas, so
Yeah,
I always...
yeah. And you like horror movies.
And you
And I like horror movies, so I definitely had checked out the first one and didn't remember too much about it.
Yeah.
I remembered the first set of boobs,
Mhm.
and then once we started watching this one, I'm like, hey, wait a second, this is all shit from the first movie.
Right.
And then I was like, yeah, that was a good movie. It was fucking dumb.
Yeah, I've heard that it's pretty mad, though, and it sounds like you experienced that as well because you didn't really remember anything other than that Santa runs around and kills people. But that's at the same time, that's like 4 other horror movies, because my pick last year was that one where Santa, I can't even fucking remember what it's called, eventually he gets in the van and becomes Santa. The van flies into space. Yeah, I can't even think of what that movie was called. It was so...
Fiona Apple's dad was in it.
Yeah, right.
That's what I remember about it. I remember forgetting to mention that in the boring bullshit too. It's like, the most interesting thing about this movie is that's Fiona Apple's fucking dad, and then I completely fucking forgot to do that.
Well, what have you got on this one? Any good trivia for Silent Night, Deadly Night 2?
A little bit. This is sort of interesting because so there is a documentary that just came out from Scream Factory or Scream
Shout Factory.
Oh, what's the other one? Scream
City,
something like
Scream.
They funded it anyway. So there's
Bathroom.
a guy that just did a whole documentary about this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tread lightly because the information's out there, and I don't want to try to piece together stuff but seemingly what happened here is that the original producers wanted to make a lightened blow version of the film for other markets and video.
Like instead of an entire tray of cocaine, it's just a saucer of cocaine. What do you mean, light
These
and blow?
Classic things where you do this and you can convince a censor that it's not as bad. So,
you mean Frankenhooker?
yes.
Okay.
So basically what they're doing, they don't really want to change any of the original content, but they wanted to shoot some scenes with a guy in a mental asylum that was just rambling about something that never really happened. And so it's like, well, it didn't really happen, so it can be in any market.
Yeah.
Oh, that person got decapitated, or she got gored by a mounted rack deer or something.
Right.
Like,
it doesn't matter.
It's just imaginary.
Yeah.
A crazy person made it up, whether they saw it or not. Now they'll be like, oh, it's could be rated PG. Be rated.
Exploding hookers was
Yeah.
also imaginary. Yeah.
There's people having gratuitous sex on screen. It's just someone on screen's imagination. PG.
The sex scenes in this movie left a lot to be desired.
Oh, you think? Okay.
Well, actually, the one that they shot for this with the gal from the Vice Squad movies, and she was also in Friday the 13th, Part 7.
Okay.
That apparently they had to leave most of that on the cutting room floor.
Oh, got a little hot and heavy.
It got a little, well, the purpose of this was
roadhousey.
to originally lighten the blow and get into other markets, and you've made it more risque than the first one. Bad job, guys.
Right.
That's what the point was that. But then Lee Harry, who's the working man of the bunch, that's the quote unquote producers. He's also the director. He's an editor, right?
Okay.
Mostly commercial work, but he does some movies. Him, Joseph H. Earl, and Lawrence Applebaum come up with better ideas, and they shoot all these other scenes.
Okay.
So they only spent, supposedly the budget of this was $100,000, and even on the short theater run, it made back $150,000. But then I read that it was supposed to shoot 2 days. It shot 10.
Okay.
And I've seen another figure that was $250,000.
Yeah.
Which is fine because it doesn't matter the initial video release, even then, or even in the dark days of video releases getting something, you're making it back on $250K.
And I'm sure that they've much made it back. This is a cult hit. So.
Yeah. It probably made $5 million just on Blockbuster shelves.
Yeah, I bet you as soon as the VHS came out, boy, it flew off in the 90s.
Yes.
Many cult people had a copy of this movie.
But apparently that's what happened is that these three just went rogue and made they're like, now it's its own movie. But they kept running into problems like it ended up still being short, so they would shoot something else. It ended up still being short, which is, I think, why there's a young version of Ricky, not because they couldn't get that guy to reprise his role as old Ricky, but old Ricky wasn't available anymore.
Right.
So now they've got this other Ricky.
Well,
Maybe they just really thought that, well, this guy looks like young Ricky, even though he's 24.
Right.
And so is Ricky.
I mean, young Ricky is like young Ricky. Ricky's a young guy.
He's a young guy. And near as I can tell, I have not found any information that was not shot for this film.
Okay.
That was not pilfered footage.
Okay.
The only footage that they pilfered in this was, because it seemed a couple times I was like, are they just grabbing any movie that the original producers had? But no, it looks like the only movie they grabbed from was Silent Night, Deadly Night, and the
which
rest
is
of
the
it
majority of the movie that they grabbed.
40 minutes of this film is Silent Deadly Night or Silent Night, Deadly Night, and 10 minutes of this film is the closing credits.
It's a Silent Night, Deadly Night medley, as it were.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they shot some stuff, but not a whole lot. If we're wondering on an eyebrow count.
Yep, I did wonder about that because that guy, seriously, yeah.
130 times on screen he raises his eyebrows.
Oh my
which
God.
doesn't seem alarming in a movie until you factor in
It's alarming, Sam.
that he's done it in 2 days of shooting, and that he's only in like 15% of the movie at best.
If you if you did an eyebrow count in all of the Lord of the Rings extended cuts and then tack on the Hobbitses after that, I bet you there's only maybe 30 eyebrow raises
with
in
all
a
the characters.
20-hour-long run. This guy is an eyebrow maniac. Like, Eric Freeman is his name, and we need to talk about him.
Eric
'cause
Freeman, yes.
He is the absolute shining star of this film.
They couldn't find him the first time that Anchor Bay did the DVD. They wanted him to be on the commentary.
Oh, his deal is as much as important as anything. The characters or the actors that were in Troll 2. If what's his name? The Room.
Wiseau?
No, not Wiseau. The other guy. George Lazenby.
Greg?
George Lazenby.
George Lazenby is a damn fine.
Greg Sestero.
Yeah, Greg
If
Sestero.
Greg Sestero gets to be a guy and go on tour, we need Eric Freeman to hit all of the Comic-Cons.
Well, so Anchor Bay couldn't find him. Whoever else was trying to do a DVD commentary next couldn't find him because the rights to this thing get tossed around.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't get him for the first couple times they recorded DVD extras and commentaries and things like that. But this documentary, probably the reason it gets made, that was released in 2018, they found him. They got him.
It's called Finding Eric Freeman,
Yes.
I believe. Yeah.
And they actually redo.
Is that really what it's called?
No, it's called like Sleigh Bells Ring, the story of Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2.
Uh-huh.
But they found him. They interviewed him. Then I believe it gets a release with the Blu-ray version of this movie, and he's on the commentary for that now.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
And they did a short that is another interview of Ricky,
Okay.
but years later. So
Right on.
it's
I guess he made it.
he made it, which actually scratches off the one question I had for the end. Does he make it? Yes, he does.
He does.
But yeah, that's basically the size of this thing, and the other stuff. Other than that, it's just like what's her face, the blonde gal that she was in the Vice Squad movies. Which, if you've watched any of the Up All Night USA, the Vice Squads were on those.
Yeah,
and
right,
I don't
sure.
think she's like what's his face that takes over for Gutenberg, because she's not in the first two. She's just in 3 through 6.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
that's the caliber
Whoopee.
of the acting talent they're
Well,
working with here.
if that ever comes up in Trivial Pursuit, Sam, I'll be able to fucking slam that down and be like, boom shakalaka, Vice Squad 3 through 7.
Yep, 6.
Spiking that foot. Oh, fuck, I would have lost.
You would have lost. You would have lost. And allegedly, David Heavener was who Eric Freeman beat
Right.
for the part of Ricky, which still would have been fun, but it wouldn't have been this.
It wouldn't have been the same.
And I bet it wouldn't have gone awry. Like, Heavener would have just showed up for the 2 days, done his thing, and they wouldn't have wanted to do anything else. They would
Right.
have just been like, okay, now it can go to Hungary, and it's an imaginary PG movie.
Yeah, I know. This. I'm glad it worked out. Jackie, you got any final thoughts before we dive into this jobber?
I just expected more lore.
More lore of the Ricky and Billy, or of
Santa.
No, just more information on the guy who played Ricky.
Oh, you want more Eric Freeman.
Yeah, there's not a
like,
lot.
What happened to him? Where did he go?
Well, when you act as bad as Eric Freeman did in this movie, you don't get to really work again. Unfortunately.
So what they did was they shot him at his new job at the diner in this movie. They were just like, hey, we need to do a reshoot. He's like, look, I'm fucking working tonight, and
Yeah,
you're
guys,
gonna have to come by the diner.
I'm trying to work here, guys.
Sure.
Seriously.
I got a 15-minute break. Okay, set up in the alley.
I get it. I'm a much better waiter than I am an actor, but come on.
He gets to play a heavies like in one episode of something that you've never heard of, or a movie where he's just a heavy and he doesn't get any lines. But yeah,
Right.
his career is pretty much over. But it wasn't really like taking off until this.
No.
Like, he got to play a heavy a few times. He gets this, gives it his go, and then maybe not in the cards.
He gives it every single bit of acting that there is in
That
the world.
eyebrows can
He
give.
had to borrow some acting from many people to have that much acting in this movie.
He's like the dinner theater guy.
Oh, he's
That you know that he works his day job and that this is like a hobby for him, but he takes it very seriously, and he's just waiting for somebody to find him at this crappy dinner theater and recruit him into the movies.
Well, if I know one thing, Jackie, about getting picked over David Heavener because you're good looking, you probably don't actually give a shit about acting. You're just coasting through life because you are naturally good looking.
Yeah.
That's what I want out of life.
Yeah, I would like to be good looking.
When
That'd be really nice.
When they say, "Oh, there was another guy that we're casting that was a much more experienced and a much better actor," and then you dig into the internet and you find out that person is David Heavener, and they said that about him in regards to you, can't act your way out of a paper bag, and that's fine. 'cause
Acting's
it's
not
great.
your thing. Acting's not your thing.
Oh, all right, okay.
Just being good looking is your thing. Yeah. All right.
Hey, there ain't no shame in that.
Yeah.
He was quite buff.
He's a buff dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
And he definitely has the gym walk. Like, I just blew up your toilet walk when he.
Why is that a gym walk?
I just everybody that I've ever met that either bodybuilds or does strongman or whatever, right? They always got that really straight, walking posture with their arms like kind of out to the side.
But what does that have to do with blowing up toilets?
Well, because my brother-in-law
Oh, okay.
blew up the toilet, and he's a bodybuilder, and they had to close.
So all of them blow up
Yeah,
toilets.
the
now.
whey protein blows up toilets.
Yeah, if you eat that much broccoli, you're gonna blow up some toilets.
Yeah, I mean,
Going to a 4,500 calorie a day diet, toilets explode.
Toilets explode.
and I just have to wonder if that was part of the 10 days, is that they had some toilet backups.
Yeah, right.
And they were like, look, we're going to have to shoot over here now because the toilets are backed up.
Or didn't I say, that one's not backed up. It's halfway to China.
All right, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2. Guess what day it is? Christmas Eve in the interrogation room or wherever this is. Is it a loony bin?
It's supposed to be a loony bin or a prison or something.
It's just a nondescript location where you get interrogated by
Well, it seems like
either
that guy's
cops
an
or
orderly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So it's an asylum. But either way, it just looks like he's a guy in a chair in a room with tile.
yeah, but you're missing a big point here. Is if it's an asylum, he has skipped his trial. There's no the psychiatrist is there asking him questions about the crimes he's just committed, and
It kind of seemed to me like he's in some kind of loony bin, but he's already had the trial because the doctor keeps saying things like, your time's running out. Like, he's been convicted and he's going to get the death penalty.
which would make it seem like he hasn't had the trial yet.
Maybe he's being evaluated at the asylum to see if he's fit to stand trial.
Who put him in the asylum?
Well, that's what they do if they think you're nuts.
I think the cops ask you some questions about the crimes you just committed
And
first,
then
rather than be like, well, this guy's clearly insane. When you show up and shoot him, or don't shoot him, you show up and be like, oh, this guy just killed a bunch of people. Let's put him in the bin. No, you go to fucking jail first. They ask you a bunch of questions, and then they're like, you know what, this guy might be insane.
No, your lawyer gets a psychologist to come in, and then they determine whether they have to bring you.
So
the
Doc
police,
Henry
no,
is
the guys
on his team, as it were.
Yeah, but you don't get to stay in jail. You have to go to the asylum. You have to
Okay.
go to the treatment
Okay.
center.
So
Because if it was just the police, with current interrogation, they'd be like, "Yep, you're fine. You just sign the paper, get a confession. We're gonna zap you."
right. Wait, like with tasers?
No, with the electric
The
electric
electric chair.
Oh.
Sam's putting it softly like they tried to do in this movie.
Don't tase me, bro.
This isn't a taser. It's a bug zapper. It's a big bug.
Here, put this helmet on.
All right.
On this helmet.
So you know the scene. Now what's happening in the scene is bananas because it's high drama and stink eyes for about 5 minutes.
4 minutes and 30 seconds of nothing but just shots of this orderly and this guy sitting in a chair.
Giving each other stink eyes.
Giving each other stink eyes.
Massive stink eyes. The most stinky stink eyes you've ever seen are happening. I mean, both their eyes are screaming, motherfucker, at each other.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these guys seem to have history. Like, this orderly's like, don't fuck with me, bro. Do not fuck with me. And the guy's like, oh, I'm trying hard with these eyeballs.
No,
Well, and he's got a lighter.
Right.
yeah, you
You're
shouldn't
in
have a
fucking
lighter.
loony bin. You,
You
don't
shouldn't
get
have a
no
lighter.
goddamn
No.
lighter.
You get matches at best.
You don't get any of
You
that
don't
shit.
get any of
You
that
can-
shit.
This is 1980s, guys. You can smoke cigarettes.
You can smoke cigarettes, but
The orderly would probably have to light them for you.
No, you don't want to get too close because he'll grab your arm and chew it off. Yeah.
I don't know. This orderly seems like he's intimidated to the point where he doesn't want to turn his back on him because he might be raped.
Oh, I kind of think that this orderly is looking for trouble. He's in there like, let's do this, motherfucker. I'm ready for you.
it seems to me that they've reached a standoff where he's like the baddest man in blue and then the baddest man in white, and they just want to go. Like, he's like, oh, you think you're a bad criminal? I've been busting asses like yours for 15 years. Throw down, son.
Yeah, this is day 6. They're waiting for high noon to come.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be some serious shit.
All right. Well, Doc Henry comes in, who apparently, according to Sam's theory, is a attorney-appointed psychiatrist to say, yep, this guy's nuts. You can't go to the chair. He comes in. He's pretty Mr. Friendly. He's like, you can call me Henry. You can call me Doc, but just don't call me late for dinner. And Rick's like, fuck off.
It's like his first thing he says in the entire movie. Fuck you.
Fuck off, buddy.
And he,
Yeah.
I'm already in love with Rick.
Yep.
And he is at 15. So Doc Henry starts asking him questions, and he's like, they're recording the whole thing. And we should note that how we're going to have to narrate this is we're not going to come back to Ricky and Doc Henry in the room very often, because most of their scenes together is like, oh yeah, and then what happened? Well, I'll tell you if you shut your fucking mouth, buttfucker.
yeah, and a little bit of, you're the 13th doctor that's come in here. And the doctor's like, good. 13's my lucky number.
Damn it, I don't have a witty retort to that.
Yeah.
And at one point, the doctor asks, we'll just get the doctor scenes out of the way. And at one point, the doctor asks him, what do you see outside those windows? Like, what? Why the fuck are you asking him that?
I see fucking trees and a fucking sun.
Is there a window?
There's fucking
there's a
cars
window in
out
there.
motherfucker. People's driving to the grocery store. If I was a grocery store, I'd eat you, because that's what grocery stores do, motherfucker. And Doc Henry's like, dude, okay, man, tone it down.
Yeah.
Seriously. And also, what's with the eyebrows?
Yeah, and he's like, how do you know anything?
Right.
He just totally basically calls him a fucking liar right to his face. You don't know shit. You were like 2 months old when all this shit went down. I know what happened because my brother told me.
Well, the first question is, who killed your parents? It was Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Flashback to when,
The first movie.
for quite a while,
Quite a while.
when Ricky was a baby.
An ugly baby.
Through the eyes of baby Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
He's-
Not in a car seat, mind you.
right. Well, hey, man.
This is the 80s. We don't care about car seats.
They didn't even have them.
In the 80s, we were safe back then. That's
Put the baby on the hood.
yeah. If you hold on to the baby, it's a lot safer than if they're in a chair in the back behind the seat.
put-
Because you can hold on to them really tight if you get in a car accident.
Sure.
Yeah. Safety first, Sam.
Yeah, and if you're driving, you just drink as much as possible
Well,
so that you fold over the steering wheel harmlessly.
you don't want to get bored while you're driving, Sam. That's dangerous.
That
so
is
you've got to
dangerous.
drink a bunch.
And you've been drinking all day at work, so how
Right.
are you going to stop to drive home? But that's
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah,
talk.
that's safety first, Sam. Drink while you drive and hold a baby in your lap because, it's just logistics.
Yep.
Dum-dum.
And let the kid in the back play with sharp objects
Well,
without a seatbelt.
you don't want him like pinching you while you drive and
Sure.
him going, hey, Dad, where's my sharp objects? Just make sure he has the sharp objects before you get in the car.
These
Safety
blunt
first.
toys are boring. Are we there yet? Then you have to pull over and beat him half to death.
Right? That's
It
just
takes up a bunch of time.
you hold up traffic when
Yeah.
you're beating your child on the side of the road. I mean, damn, you know nothing about parenting. Okay, so he's a baby, and his brother Billy is about like 5, 6, somewhere in there. He's a cute little kid. He wants to stay up and see Santa that night. Like, Santa's coming in. Let's stay up all night and see him. And his mom's like, no, you can't do that because then
Then you'll be naughty
Yeah.
because naughty boys don't go to bed when they're supposed to.
I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Are kids stupid? What the fuck, man? How do you believe in Santa? You gotta know it's horse shit.
Well, I mean, once you figure out it's horseshit, it happens to everybody. But at the same time, you're getting fed the crap from people that you're supposed to trust. Your fucking parents.
I mean, they're giving you the sharp objects, but they're lying right
You're
to
like,
your face.
You trust us. We're your parents. We know what's best for you. You look back and you're like, you drank all day, drove around drunk, told me that fucking imaginary things existed. What the fuck?
So, sure enough, he doesn't have to worry about it because as they're driving down the road, there's fucking Santa broke down in the middle of the road. And he's not broke down in a sleigh, he's broken down in a station wagon, implying that, like...
red
no,
station.
dude, that was a fucking Oldsmobile Cutlass.
Oh, was it?
That thing, yeah, a little work on that. That's a hot machine.
All right, so...
And it's red.
Is he actually broken down, or is this just a way to murder people?
It's just a way to murder people.
Then why is he Santa?
Well,
Because he escapes from a mental institute.
The Santa murderer does?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Santa
okay.
in the first movie, he escapes by killing the Santa Claus at the loony bin.
Okay.
Puts on his clothes,
Okay.
and that's how he sneaks out.
Oh, all right. So it's just a disguise. It's not necessarily like this guy doesn't have some Santa obsession. He's just
he's stolen it most likely. And I guess that princess to go back to where you're asking about the asylum. Like this is a thing that's symptomatic of the time. Like, oh, we can't do what we should be able to do with criminals. They're all just pretending they're crazy, right? We got to be able to shoot these fuckers on sight.
Yep.
Dirty Harry.
Yeah, right. Make the kid in the back seat do it so he doesn't get bored, you know?
No.
Yeah,
Teach him how to do things. Teach him how to fight crime the right way while he's young.
Yeah, that's just the rules of the road. So this Santa's broke down, and they're like, hey, can we, oh my God, he's got a gun. And sure enough, this Santa blows them away. Little Billy manages to get out of the car and then watches his mom get her throat cut. So,
Well, Santa's going to rape her, and she
Yeah,
won't
but he
sit
doesn't.
still,
Oh.
and she slaps him in the face, and he gets pissed and slices her throat open.
yeah, right.
But her boobs are hanging out, and, this
No.
is the first set of boobs.
Oh, yeah, the boobs are a running theme. In unwanted boob exposure is a running theme in this movie. There's a lot of ladies whose shirts want to stay on, but somehow seem to can't.
It's the same thing at least 3 times with the shirt rip.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they even have a shirt rip for a man.
Right.
I mean, what this tells me is that clothes in the 80s were not great. Because they just rip right off.
Hey, you saw Hulk Hogan, what he did to his shirts, man. You know those things were not made by, made in the USA. Actually, they were made in the USA.
They're like, "There's Korean garments taking our jobs and this crap." And as you're saying that, his American shirt just falls off because it's shit made by somebody who doesn't want to do it.
Right. Okay. So Billy is traumatized, and then Doc is like, okay, so what happened next? Well, then we went to the orphanage, the nuns' orphanage, and they're living there. Billy seems like, he's not a broken child. He's got issues, sure, but he's holding it together pretty well. It seems like he's doing just normal Billy stuff until Christmas shows up, and then he's like starts having flashbacks and stuff. But at the same time, the chief nun lady, even if you didn't see your parents get murdered right in front of you, would probably give you some issues. Like if you're just a normal kid that didn't have murdered parents and you go and see Mother Superior, you're going to come out of there a broken child because she's bad.
She's not nice.
But she's awful,
Yeah.
and
It also
tortures him.
we're also seeing the majestic landscape of Utah here.
Oh yeah, nice.
Utah plates. I had to look at it was Herbert, Utah. I don't even know where that is,
I
but
have no idea.
it's pretty not nice.
I think the orphanage also comes back in the first season of True Detective. I think they find the bodies behind the orphanage. I think that's I mean the set. Or
that set,
the location.
that building
Yeah.
was built in
a good-looking building
every
for-
state, all over, everywhere.
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But this one in particular, I'm getting hairs on the back of my neck.
There's one that looks just like that in Pocatello.
You don't fucking know anything, man.
That's what I thought. I was like, I bet that's in Pocatello.
Know. You don't even know.
And it's not.
You don't know a goddamn thing. It's from True Detective.
It's from True Detective.
It
Which
is.
season?
Woody was there, man.
Was that in Utah?
Season.
The second season was bullshit.
Yeah, it was.
They were like, hey.
I didn't really like the first season either.
I mean, the first season, but it was passable. You're like, okay, this is decent television. They're like, you know what people want? They want Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn to be the detectives.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, no, they don't.
No, they do not. Okay, anyways. So, there's one sister trying to help this little boy out because she's like, dude, his parents were murdered by fucking Santa, and you keep cramming Santa shit down his throat, bitch. What the fuck? And she's like, well, you're not in charge, so why don't you put your head in the toilet? Because that's how nun orphanages work.
Punishment is good.
Yeah.
We're going to punish the Santa fear out of this kid with Santa punishment.
Sammy, you're Catholic, sort of.
Well, yeah. I ran away from it screaming at 12 as well.
Yeah. You got more nunning experience than Jackie and I. Are nuns actually like this, or are nuns cool?
Some of them are.
Okay.
Some of them aren't.
Okay.
Like, it's like anything else. Yeah, there was like at St. Anne's on Sunday, you just didn't want to have your hands on the fucking desk.
Because
if you weren't
God said, thou shalt not put hands on desk.
Directly into her eyes with the complete and full attention of a child who loves to hear about Jesus, the knuckles get cracked. It wasn't even like I was a bad kid. It was just like not paying attention to some of the most boring shit.
Oh, yeah.
That you've ever not paid attention
Sure,
to.
Of course. Yeah, you're in
Crack.
that section of the Bible where it's just like reading Ancestry.com.
No, that's the best part. Is
the Bible?
They veer off just into like how that nun thinks that you should behave. They freelance all over the fucking place with what's good and bad, good children behavior and all that, and then knuckle cracks.
So it's they're loosey goosey with the rules, right? It's
fast and loose, man.
Yeah, it's you make it up as you go. There's no set of rules to make it through nun class. You just whatever you feel is appropriate.
There's only so much source material you can tell the kids everything out of the Bible, so you just fill in the gaps with, yep, that's bad.
Broken knuckles.
Crack.
Okay. All right. So this movie is at least accurate as far as we can tell as far as that. It's 50-50 good and bad nuns here.
Yeah.
So they end up seeing the good nuns like, come outside. Meet the other children. Build a snowman. Be a kid. It's okay. I'm sorry about your parents, but I'm here for you. If you ever want to talk about it, come over and talk to me. But let's get you outside and get some fresh air and stretch those legs. And he's like, okay, I'll come. And then she closes the door in his face.
Yeah. And meanwhile, she's fucking setting his ass up because he's under house arrest pretty much.
Yeah, he can't leave his room
not
for some
allowed.
reason.
Yeah, and she's like, you know what you should do? You should leave your room. He's like, okay, you're right. He's like, gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch. Because he goes out, and on his way downstairs, he hears some people porking and looks in through a keyhole, and sure enough, I'm guessing one of the other nuns is getting banged by some adult man. I don't know what he's doing at the orphanage or what.
He's the janitor.
You think that's the same janitor that comes into play later?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go with that because and so Nurse Ratched comes out and she's like, hey, are you looking at people porking? And then she's like, I'll deal with you in a minute. And goes in there and starts beating the shit out of these people that are porking. Mm-hmm. And bitch, I'm a grown-ass man. You can't tell me who to pork or not to pork.
He's saying that, but at the same time, she's beating him mercilessly with
his
own belt. It's his belt. She pulls his belt out of his pants, and she's probably leaning in buckle first on this guy. And he's like,
punishment.
I was about to tell you something, but you are beating the shit out of me. Please stop.
What if they were into the a little bit of the dark love in that room, the little cat of nine tails and the nipple clamps, and she comes in there and starts like, I will punish you, and they're like, yes please,
yes please, we've been very naughty. And then
step on my throat.
It takes about 2 hours, and she doesn't really get into the sexy stuff, but she does have to finish with the cigarette.
Right.
He's like, I just beat you guys for 3.5 hours. I feel great. I need a smoke.
Did you come? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like
Okay,
20 times.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very, very, very gross room in there now.
Yeah.
It's sticky. So Billy gets his butt whipped as well for leaving his room.
Yeah.
And that he's told, there's two types of people in this world. Good ones and naughty ones. And the naughty ones get punished.
Punishment is good.
Yeah.
He
Right.
says that. Punishment is good.
Mm-hmm. It's very Orwellian.
Or Catholic.
Or Catholic. Same thing, Okay.
Not punishing you physically, they're punishing you with the goddamn heaviness of Catholic guilt.
Yeah. So now he's having nightmares. And he tries to get away. He wakes up in the middle of the night and tries to get away from his room. I guess that's where the nightmares live. And so he's busted again. And this time they tie him to his bed.
Sort of.
Like if he would just stop struggling and just pull his hand out.
Yeah, they're pretty loose ties.
Seems like the only way he's able to stay tied up is to keep tension on it
Mhm.
in just the right direction. Otherwise, they will just fall off.
No, she knows he's going to freak out all night. It's, all you got to do is relax. It's a little Pavlovian.
It's a Chinese finger trap.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Pavlovian's not even the dogs and the bell.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all,
She's
it's all
just-
connected.
Yeah.
It's a safety net. I can't sleep until somebody ties me to a bed.
Right.
And then rings the bell and new sheets.
Somewhere a dog barks. So
Roro.
So they then make him sit on Santa's lap. It's now Christmas of some year. And Mall Santa's like, come, tell me what you want. And he's like, I don't want to sit on that guy's lap. He killed my fucking parents. And they're like, you have to. Otherwise, you're a naughty little boy.
Yep.
So
She's like, confront your fears. And he's like, I did. Boom. He fucking knocks Santa out with a
busts Santa
left.
out.
Not even a right, it's just a left.
Santa lost some teeth.
Yeah. No, he goes down.
He goes down hard. Like that kid punched him across the room. It's awesome.
And he falls into the tree.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, okay.
I mean, it'd be a hell of a punch if you were a grown-ass man, but this is a fucking 10-year-old child just belted you, Santa.
Yeah. The velocity and the power was amazing, but it was also a tiny fist.
Right.
So it's even more of a wound.
It's mentally disturbing. Like, I got my ass kicked by a 12-year-old.
Yeah, how do you go on after that? Oh, God. So, what you in for? What were you getting stitches? Don't want to talk about it, doctor. Can we move on? Eventually, it's Billy's 18th birthday.
No, you skipped over the Santa Claus corner thing.
Oh, I don't have a note for that.
Oh my God.
So he knocks Santa out.
So, and I have a question about this.
Okay.
Because he runs upstairs, right? And he goes and sits in a corner.
Who does? Billy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Santa Claus follows him upstairs.
I don't remember that.
And he's just like, please don't punish me. I'm not a bad kid. And then
I thought that was Nurse what's her name or Mother Superior.
no, it's Santa Claus.
Huh.
And then the Ricky is like, I could hear him screaming, and they ignored it. So did Santa Claus beat him?
Probably.
Probably.
Or did Santa Claus rape this kid?
Why would you go there? What's your like? No, he beat him. He even says, "Please, sir, don't beat me." Why would you oh, well, then he's raping him. No, he's beating him. What's with your fucking weird twisted mind?
It's the 80s.
Yeah, no, he's just beating him, Jackie. You're
Just
overthinking
depends
shit.
on whether this orphanage is at Penn State.
Oh.
You mean Ohio State?
No, it's Penn State.
Oh, there's Ohio State, too.
What?
Yeah.
You don't know about the Jim Jordan shit?
No, I don't really watch college football outside of Boise State anymore.
That was wrestling, dude.
Oh.
Senator.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
no.
U.S. He's a representative.
Rep. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. JYM Jordan. Anyways, why are we talking about that? Yeah, okay.
But I thought the brother died at this point.
No.
Because then, but you've seen you're the only one that's seen the first movie.
Yeah, in the first movie though, it's not Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, hold on. Yep, that makes sense. For whatever reason, I thought he was going to die in this Santa Claus scene, but then you're right. Why would I think that? Because he hasn't murdered
major retcon on the first movie halfway through the second one. Nobody makes it.
Nobody makes it.
All right, so eventually Billy turns 18, and he gets a job at a toy store.
Mother Superior gets him a job as Santa, as a final parting gift to the most fucked up childhood ever.
Yeah, what a bitch. Like, dude, come on. I mean, come on, seriously. You know he's going to come back and murder you at some point. You are doing this to yourself eventually. Come on. Good God. Also, he's 18. He could be like, fuck you. No, I'm not doing Santa. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
She's like, well.
And he gets, he does that.
Like, you don't have another job and you don't have any money, so.
Then get a fucking beard and one of those frilly coats and start sticking your thumb out on traffic and then you go and have an adventure. You find Billy Jack and you guys team up and do good stuff together and you forget about Santa for the rest of your life.
Or Midnight Cowboy happens.
Or
Fuck.
Me too.
Whoa. Whoa.
He's essentially a mall Santa, and kids are sitting on his lap, and he's threatening to murder them, and the parents are like, "Damn, he's good at this shit."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at him.
What a great Santa!
God, he's just so good.
It's good with these kids.
Yeah.
This is a little bit about like taking a walk down memory lane as well, because I'm watching the backgrounds in the toy store shots and seeing toys that I owned or I wanted to own as a kid.
Yeah, there's a lot of licensed property in the shot.
Yeah, like there was a He-Man, some Care Bear stuff. I was like, oh, that stuff was so cool. Now toys are just cheap plastic pieces of shit that fall apart.
Spoiler alert, they were cheap plastic pieces of shit back then too.
Well, they were a little heftier.
No, they weren't. To go back and buy a toy from the 80s and be like, God, I remember these being better built. Nope, they were trash. You just didn't know any better.
And the quality of the plastic, though heavier, was like half as strong.
Yeah, and the paint. Oh, the paint.
The paint was made of lead, so it was good.
Right. Oh, no, man,
It was delicious.
that is not true. If you licked the paint, it came right off.
Yeah, no, it's
And
because
then-
it wasn't made of lead anymore. They got rid of that before us.
No, I'm pretty sure it was made of lead.
No, I thought, really?
Why else would I lick it?
Because you're a weird kid.
Yeah, dude, you're fucking moron.
The paste was non-toxic, and I ate enough of that to make a buffet.
Yeah, why would you eat the non-toxic paste? Again, you're in the back of the car with knives. What else are you going to do, Sam? You're eating non-toxic paste? You got to get fucked up, man. That's
true.
prime getting fucked up time.
I just thought it was a delicious snack.
Yeah, well, it is still delicious, but you got to have the toxic stuff so you start seeing shit while you're playing with sharp objects in the back of your car.
That's
Otherwise, you're
true.
going to get bored and bother your dad, and then he's going to turn around and belch you and then crash the car. It's safety first, get fucked up.
Yep.
God, every time with you. Trying to be all not safe. How dare you, sir?
I'm the unsafetiest.
Non-toxic paste. All right, so it's now Christmas party, office Christmas party time, I guess, with their 4 employees at a toy store. I don't think this place has an office Christmas party.
It also should, it's big enough that there's more than 6 of them that work there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. At any given point, I don't know.
Or they're just only open from 9 to 5.
Do you think Toys R Us has office Christmas parties when they were in business? No, dude. You're a toy store. You're getting paid minimum wage, and your boss is a dick. You don't show up at the if I don't show up, what are you gonna do? Fire me from my minimum wage job? Bummer. They don't have office Christmas parties. This place does.
This seems like it's a little impromptu, though.
Okay, like
Just some louders came out and the party happened.
yeah, and the boss just happens to have 6 fifths of booze in his desk.
This is the 80s.
Yep.
Yeah, right. He's being safe. Good
He's
point,
being
Jackie.
safe.
Yeah,
How's he supposed to drive home?
Man,
You start drinking when you drive? That's
Close one.
ridiculously dangerous.
close one. So a couple coworkers of his go into the stockroom to bang. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I know what Santa does on Christmas Eve, so I'm going to go in there and kill them both.
Well, the guy starts raping her.
Yeah,
she's like, no, and then he rips her sweater off.
I don't know what she was doing in that stockroom in the first place. Like, what are you, like, you're going to go bang, right? Like, I don't know. What's she doing there?
She thought it was going to be gentle pecking.
They were actually going to stock toys. It was
Yeah.
inventory time.
She's like, you're right. We are out of Betsy Boobop. We should go get some more and put them out here, even though Christmas is fucking over.
Wait a minute. You're not here for Betsy Boobop. How dare you, sir? Psh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's like, I am. Wait. At least I'm thinking of her when I'm raping you.
Yeah, right.
Because he's weird.
Yeah, he's a weird dude. But either way, like, Billy doesn't kill him because he's a rapist. He kills her too.
Well, she decided that he's bad and that she kind of wanted to get raped, I guess.
I don't know.
But he kills her.
Right.
I guess with something sharp, but it looks like he just punches her in the stomach and she dies.
Yeah. Then the boss comes in. He's shit-faced because he's safe. And he gets killed by...
Doesn't feel a thing, though.
No. He gets the axe to the chest.
It's a hammer.
Oh, the hammer in the head. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last lady that's there, she gets an arrow in the back.
Because they had archery at toy stores.
Toy store.
Yeah.
Well, they had lawn darts too. Don't forget about those.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's actually safe because the kids could be playing with hand grenades. So instead, you give them bows and arrows, real ones, and lawn darts, so that for safety.
You ever seen a picnic bear attack and people try to defend themselves with a badminton set?
Right.
Doesn't fucking work.
Yep.
Need the lawn darts.
Yep. Bow and arrow for safety. Children's safety. So now he's just going around and killing anyone that screws, I guess, because I'm sure it probably is established in the first movie who the next people are that get murdered, but in this one it doesn't. There's just some people porking, and he shows up in the middle of their house and is like, die, fuckers, from porking.
From porking. You deserve it, I guess. And he sticks Linnea Quigley on a deer.
Was that her?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, all right, yeah.
No, I could draw those things from memory. I've seen them enough now.
Yeah, yeah, he chucks the other guy out the window. It's a good window chuck. I like that.
After he rips off his finely crafted sweatshirt, it comes off like breakaway pants.
My shirt. So now the police are on the lookout for a murderous Santa, and they're just going around arresting whatever Santa they can fucking find. I mean, it's Christmas time. There's plenty of Santas, and they're like, lock them all up. We're gonna round them all up, all the Santas. One dad almost gets his fucking head blown off. I'm surprised he didn't. Shoot first.
In the police's defense, this dad's got a weird Christmas routine.
Yeah,
where
he does.
Goes into his daughter's window
Right.
by ladder while the rest of his family isn't in there.
Uh-huh. Wakey, wakey. It's me, Santa. I'm pretty sure you come through the chimney, Santa.
And he doesn't get shot and their family stays together, but I think the police stopped something from happening there.
Maybe not enough. Maybe
Not
they
enough.
should have gone further.
It's like, oh, it's Dad. And then he turns to the wife. He's like, why is he going in here on a ladder? And she's like, what the fuck?
Gary, you got some explaining to do.
Oh, Gary's going to a hotel that night.
Yeah, right. Gary might be going someplace else.
Yeah.
Bottom of the lake. There's some kids out sledding, and they're like, woo, Ultimate Hill. We found the best hill in the valley. Yay!
And it's not enough to sled on.
Brand new, fresh snow that nobody's ever walked on. Yay!
Yeah. It's clumpy, fucked up, shitty snow, and it's not steep enough.
The entire
You could
crew
get-
has trampled all that snow. I mean, the director's standing in the middle of the shot, making a snow angel, and the kids are like, wee, so much snow.
He's not. There's mule shit everywhere.
Fresh, clean snow that's
Yep.
never been pooped on.
So-
Yay!
This fresh powder, clumpy yellow and brown snow.
It's the best snow we've ever seen on this very steep hill. Wee! And then these two older boys.
Yeah. Some bullies come.
Some
They're
bullies come who are
like
happy.
drunk 25-year-old dudes.
And they're like, hey, kids, beat it. This is our super sweet hill.
Yeah. This is our sled hill.
Give me your sleds.
Yeah.
And so they go sledding. And it's so bad. They're moving at none miles per hour.
The first guy has to like try to get out of the shot by hand on the sled when there isn't enough incline for the fucking thing to move.
Push me.
And then the next one is like, well, we don't want it to be too steep that the actors get hurt, so they're just barely moving.
They're not moving at all.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a rope tugging them along.
And they're like, woo, yeah, whoa, whoa.
Let's catch some nar, bro.
Yeah, right.
Extreme.
Drop on in. Get pitted,
He's
bro.
getting pitted.
All right, so, but Billy's there, and he chops the second dude's head off.
Yeah.
His body comes down to the hill with no head on. It's pretty cool.
But I guess the other guy doesn't get killed, does he?
No, he doesn't. Not in this movie, at least. Yeah. So back at the orphanage, it's Christmas morning, and the kids are out playing, and Billy Santa shows up, and he's walking towards the kids, and the cops are there. They're like, stop, motherfucker. Don't move one more step or I'll blast you. And the guy keeps walking and gets blasted in the back, and Santa's dead in front of everybody. But it's the janitor. It wasn't Billy. Good job, cops.
And I'm pretty sure he landed on a kid, and that kid's still down there.
And the one that had the blood splatter on him.
Right?
He was standing there like he looked like he was seriously just kind of fucked up from that whole scene.
I got
Isn't that
brains on
Ricky?
me.
No.
Oh, because I thought it was him.
No, it might have supposed to have been Ricky,
He
but it
said
was a
it was
different
him.
character. It was a different actor.
Oh.
Again, in this movie, 16 people play the same role because they couldn't piece shit together.
Yeah.
So was that Ricky then?
I think it's supposed to be.
But that kid looked horrified. Like like nobody told him that this was going to happen.
Uh-huh.
And then it did. And he was like, oh my God.
Nothing like a cop to shoot it in the general direction of children. You know, I mean, nothing like that. It's not like, I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah. No, he's a trained law enforcement
No.
professional. That's 38.
No.
He knows there's going to be no exit wounds. Those are stopping dead center in the middle of Santa, provided that he hits him. We don't know.
Trained law enforcement officer.
He's been
who
drinking
shot
all
a
day.
janitor.
Have you ever tried to shoot a Santa at point blank sober? It's not easy.
Yeah, well, you know, you don't want if you're sober, then your reflexes are a lot sharper, and you might shoot yourself prematurely.
Yeah.
So you want to slow those reflexes down so that you can line up your shot and aim perfectly.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the depressants are very good for loaded guns
And law enforcement in general.
and yeah, of course, you don't want the stress of the job then affecting your ability to do the job. So you got to go in and work drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, with safety.
And then when they tell you there's a wrong Santa, you're like, ah, fuck it, what are you? You're not sure.
Well,
He tells the nun pretty much, what do you want me to fucking do about it?
What do you
I
want me to
saved you.
you don't know. That guy could have maybe done some crime later.
Yeah.
You
The
don't
last
know.
wrong Santa was a bad guy.
Yeah.
He was a bad guy.
And then he starts going, and it's almost like, who fucking cares? I shot a janitor. That's kind of the way that he was talking about it. Like,
Whoop-de-doo.
big deal. You find somebody else to clean your
Yeah,
toilet.
I'm staying here and protecting these kids. The cop does not get in trouble.
No, he's like, fuck it. Oh, and I left the body out there in the front of the orphanage.
Right. On top of a child. Yeah, he's freelancing, and he's going to watch the orphanage, and he goes downstairs into the basement for some reason. I guess he's just, like, walking around looking for somebody to shoot now.
Yeah.
Cool. And there's nothing in the basement, so when he comes back up, Billy's there. Yeah, Billy's there and chops him in the chest with the axe. He's dead. Cool.
This was a good fall, too. And he
Punished.
looked great when he was down there at the bottom of the stairs, like completely mangled. Like like he'd fallen down way more stairs than, just
Well,
the 10 that he did.
He did get hit in the chest with an axe, so, I mean.
He looked great.
Yeah, okay. Billy walks in through the front door, and he's like, I guess is he there to get vengeance on Mother Superior, or just see his brother?
He's there to kill Mother Superior.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And little Tommy lets him in.
Yeah.
Even though
Tommy, no!
even though the cops just got done telling this entire group of people, hey, don't let anybody in. And the nun even tells him, listen, Tommy, go fucking sit down. What are you doing? No, I said no.
Does murderous Santa need a child to let him in? He has an axe. It's just a door
A glass
that
one.
no one even locked.
I don't think it was
There's
locked.
Probably other doors.
Yeah, no, this kid does not have the ability to unlock that door. He just opens it up. It's
Yeah.
like, Santa, Yeah, cool. I was gonna come in anyways. I mean, you're not, lady. Come on, you're in a. What are you gonna do about this? Anyway, so he's there, and he's moving up and is about to kill her, but then he gets blasted by some other cops that probably had lines in the first movie but do not hear.
He was like, "But I was gonna sing David Bowie." Oh yeah, Mother Superior, your head's about to meet with an axe.
Changes. You're shorter now. Changes.
And this is where I really feel like Ricky was like, and then my brother was bested by an old lady in a wheelchair, and now I have to take vengeance.
Right. So that's that. The first of the movie's wrapped up. Ricky goes and lives. Finally, somebody fucking put their head to use and moved him in with a fine, upstanding Jewish family where Christmas isn't going to be involved very much. So, hey, nice job there, guys. And one day, they're on the street. Everything's going good with Ricky and his new family. He's very well loved. He's got a bright future in front of him until one day he sees a couple of very badass nuns.
They're walking in slow motion. These are like Guy Ritchie nuns.
With laser focus.
Oh, yeah.
They're Guy Ritchie nuns.
I think they're knocking over every joint on the street. I can't tell if they're just hitting the place fast or if they're on a protection racket.
I expected their habits to fly open and a fucking shotgun to be under there and start raining lead down on people.
Mm-hmm.
These were badass motherfucking nuns.
Uh-huh.
And they looked mean.
They looked mean. They're looking at the same shit. They're moving in unison. Like, dude, yeah. Somebody's not going to have a good day.
Nope.
I was kind of waiting for them to start playing it Back in Black.
Right.
Behind him, like, dun, 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 dun.
No, that would be butt, dude. You got to have like something very world music in a Guy Ritchie film. You don't have Back in Black in a Guy Ritchie movie. Come on, man.
Whatever. What song would you
World
put behind
music
him?
like Enya.
Yeah, like Enya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you would have put behind
Guy
him?
Ritchie always puts shit like Enya in his shootout scenes. God, I mean, come on. Quentin Tarantino, he would have like James Brown.
Sure.
Yeah, not fucking Back in Black. That's fucking Marvel shit, Jackie. Come on. Anyways, so he's like traumatized because he's like badass nuns, and I guess that makes him flash back to the before time.
Well, they put a red cloth on a picture of something that you can't. It doesn't make any sense. But now we've gotten the red, and he's seeing Santas.
Okay, all right. Were the
new
nuns
mom
a part
hugs
of
him.
anything then?
I think that they're on a protection racket, or they're just
Okay.
knocking over every place on the building, and they're doing it with ruthless efficiency because they were in that first store for like 40 seconds, and they came right out and were in the next one.
So at first he's just like, holy shit, those are badass nuns. But then he sees red, and
now he's like,
they were
oh,
unrelated instances.
fuck.
Yeah. Okay.
Santas.
All
Right. So then he flashes back to Santa being shot
Right.
in front of him. So I guess he starts convulsing with the gunshots too, because the mom in the next scene, right, is like, he was having convulsions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 5 years go by, and his dad dies, his stepdad, and he's pretty taken aback by it. He's pretty hurt, sad, and so he goes on a walkabout. He's got to go find himself. 15-year-old Ricky. He's got to go.
Who's 24.
Who's 24? He's got to go find himself out in the woods. Take a swim in Lake Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky Lake.
Oh.
Oh my God. How long have you been holding on to that one?
32 years. So he's walking around. He sees a couple picnickers, and they seem to be a fairly nice couple. They've got a nice basket, and they've taken some time here. This is a really
it's-
nice date.
Guy in a Canadian tuxedo knocking down Tecates. And then he's just outwardly a douche.
Right.
And he's like, you love me because I'm such a douche. And she's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah.
He does
I
say
do.
that. He says that.
And then before he was about to rape her, but he's like, fuck, I'm out of Tecate.
Right.
Stay there. I got to go get more beer.
Safety first.
Safety first.
If you drink enough, it will like burn out the STDs.
Sure.
Yeah, you just have so much alcohol that
You just ejaculate Tecate.
I do every day. You don't see me bitching about STDs, do you? Safety. Okay. So it turns pretty ugly. And so Ricky is like, you know what? Fuck this shit. And I'm going to run this guy's ass over with his own fucking car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once again, rips the shirt open on the female, punches her in the face.
Right. Flashback to when he was a kid.
Right. And then
When he was a baby.
he's almost got superpowers in this shot, though, because he's not in the Jeep. And then all of a sudden, he's like
Yeah, right.
in the Jeep, right behind the wheel.
Uh-huh.
I also runs him over and then backs over him and then runs him over again.
Oh,
like
I think he-
4 times.
Yeah, I think he got a good 4 or 5 times in there. And the lady's like, thanks, mister.
Yeah, she's the first person. Like, that's a very progressive scene because every other woman wanted to be raped. And she's like, yeah, thanks. I didn't like that at all.
No, that's not cool.
And then they just go their separate ways.
Right.
He leaves in that guy's car and she's stranded in the middle of nowhere.
He sells it for $2,200.
And then she's like, unthanks.
I gotta walk back to Chino? God damn it. All right, Ricky confesses to the doctor that his mom... Oh, this is why I wrote this note down. Yeah, you got a degree, doctor. You feel pretty fancy. Feel pretty smart. I couldn't go to college because my mom couldn't afford to send me. So instead, I got a job. Okay. Why do you say it like that?
Yeah.
I got a job. He's like a waiter or something, and he sees a shakedown in an alleyway. I guess it's some sort of mob dealer or a loan sharky type
Yeah, it's
thing.
like a loan shark thing.
Yeah. But Ricky sees the red on this guy, the mob guy, and he fucking goes super strength on his ass because he lifts him sky high with one hand, and the guy punches him in the face like 20 times, and Ricky's like, don't feel nothing.
Don't care.
And so he picks up an umbrella and skewers him with it.
Skewers him with it. And this is the first one of the sort of explosive moments in this film. There's a book about unconventional movie weapons that I believe is called 100 Umbrellas or something like that. So this is a big deal right here.
Yeah, yeah.
First of 2.
Hey, it's kind of weird because I was like, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
And he
Surprising.
opens the umbrella.
Yeah, no, it's a good set piece. All right, so you know, he's on to murdering people, and the doc's like, wait, I didn't know about any of those murders. Yeah, because the cops should have done crime investigation first rather than you just coming in here. Whatever. So the doctor's like, well, then tell me about Jennifer. Oh, I don't talk about Jennifer, Doc.
And then he's like, well, maybe this picture will remind you. It's the headshot that she gave our producers.
Oh, okay, I'll talk about Jennifer.
I'll talk about Jennifer now. And then they cut back to her, you're like, my God, does no one know what a headshot looks like?
Well, what kind of worried me was that I could have sworn, maybe I'm not remembering this right, is that it's not that he wouldn't talk about her, but I thought he said something like, I don't know who that is.
No, he turns away and he's like, I'm done talking, with his eyebrows going at 100 miles per hour. I've got it in quotes.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, and then I thought, like, he had deja vu, like, oh, yeah, I know that person.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that Jennifer. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll talk about her because, yeah, we'll talk about the night she and I got it on because I will talk about length on that. Oh, God, this story.
I could give you every blow by blow, but we'd be here for 43 seconds.
They met on a summer's day when she ran his ass over with her car.
Poorly. Dude, that's the thing is, like, she's not watching where she's going. He's in the middle of a parking lot. He probably should have left. And then she sort of hits him.
Knocks
and
him
he,
over.
Like, looks at her like, hey, you just ran into me. And then she lets off the brakes and runs him the rest of the way over.
Uh-huh. And she gets out of his car and he's laying in a pile and she's like, tee.
Yeah, like, oopsie. He's like, you shouldn't, you haven't been drinking.
I was on my way to the liquor store.
Yeah.
Damn you, woman.
What are you, crazy?
Nuts. So they go for a ride on his motorcycle. I mean, like, no dialogue is exchanged between these two. It's just this long, sweeping scene of them going on this ride, which then cuts to them banging.
Yeah.
No dialogue has taken place to them for him to lose his virginity to her. The next thing we know, they're in a movie theater, though, and they're watching the trailer to a film called Chaos. And she's like, "Do you like this crap?" And he's like, "I love it."
He was like, "Shut up! You're interrupting the amazing."
I'm pretty sure that the trailer was narrated by Jesse Ventura.
Yeah,
I think it was actually the sequel to Abraxas, Chaos, that never got made.
No, the sequel to Abraxas would have been very unchaotic.
Yeah, it's just him
wandering
with the
around.
family. And no, he gets married to that family.
Oh.
At the end of
It's
Abraxas.
actually more boring than Abraxas, which is nearly impossible.
He gets a job. That was the day I got a job. In Minnesota. So there's a couple of D-bags in the back, and they're riffing and throwing popcorn.
The silent D-bag
Yeah.
with the mustache is director Lee Harry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. He doesn't belong there. It turns out, though, that they're there to see Silent Night, Deadly Night 1, which is weird because that's the film that they're watching, is Santa Goes on a Rampage, the movie.
Just when you thought that you were done watching scenes from the first movie, no, there's still going to be more of that.
Hey, that's my brother. And then Chip shows up. Chip. Out of nowhere, Chip shows up. Who the fuck is Chip?
Yeah.
An excuse for a later scene.
It's a later scene, yeah. And Chip sucks.
Chip sucks.
He's like trying to James Spader, but he can't do it.
Oh, yeah, right. I was thinking Greg Kinnear as well.
Yeah.
Mash up between those two.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Only,
God.
yeah, mashed up. Like, hammered shit.
Yeah, I guess he's Jennifer's first bang guy or whatever.
She's some fucking party boy that
Yeah.
she got drunk and then she thought it was going to be forever, but it was 74 seconds in the back of a Mustang.
Right. And he's like, "Hey, when are we going to get together? Hey, is your date killing a guy? Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. Focus on me. Oh, okay, so when are we going to get back together? Never, motherfucker."
Mm-hmm.
Also, your girlfriend is eyeballing me.
Yeah, right.
And some girls like just staring her down.
This scene really seemed
Yeah.
like it was going to go places and then just kind of cut.
I really like that the sort of adult married couple do nothing about the heckler,
Right.
the murder, the argument between the girl and Chip, and then Chip's girlfriend standing up directly in front of them, not letting them watch the movie because she's giving her the stink eye. And they just quietly enjoy the film, regardless of any of those happenings.
Well, you know why? They took a car to the movie theater, so they had to get good and shit-faced
Yeah.
for safety first. So those people are just shit-faced drunk.
Yeah, she's actually passed out.
Right.
Yeah.
She stapled her eyeballs open so that when she passes out, she can still see shit, because otherwise that's not safe. Yeah.
Did you bring the staples? I don't want to miss Clockwork Orange again.
Again.
You've missed the point, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are the point. Okay, so later, they're on a date walk together, like, "Oh, well, I was thinking we could go to the botanical gardens and then maybe go, maybe get sandwiches someplace." And he's like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm in love with you." Hey, who's this guy? It's Chip.
Chip is charging his battery
Right.
in the street by her house, I guess.
I guess. Or just some street. He's
Just-
not next to any power outlets.
No.
He's just on the street charging his battery.
Yeah.
Huh. And he's like, "Hey, who's this D-bag? I bet you he doesn't bang as long as I do." And she's like, "Well, it's pretty close, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
when you're talking matter
Well,
of seconds, it's not that much difference."
Sure, maybe it was double, but
Right.
double one is just two.
But he's my new boyfriend. He's hunky.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of a shitty Greg Kinnear. how about you go away? And he's like, how about I kick this guy's ass? And Ricky's like, dude, what? No. So Ricky sticks the charger in his mouth and it makes his eyeballs explode.
Yeah, they pop through his sunglasses. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. I actually thought the effects here were pretty good in the scene. Like,
the
post-production electricity stuff.
I think that's what happened here is that Lee Harry and Joe Earl get a chunk of money, and they're like, we're going to show these guys, they gave us $100,000 to just shoot 2 scenes.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to show them what we can do with $100,000. And then they do, but then they have to make a whole other movie out of it.
Right.
And then that movie happens to stink a lot.
And Jen's not too happy about it. She's like, oh, what have you done? How dare you?
You killed him. Okay, bye.
Okay. And then he's like,
What does she say? She's like, oh no.
uh-oh.
Oh yeah, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I've awoken the beast.
Yeah.
She's like, I never want to see you again.
And then he turns into the Hulk, and she's like, whoopsie.
Oops. And he takes the antenna off of Chip's Mustang and strangles her with it.
Right in front of a cop.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, freeze. And Ricky's like, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, why are you coming closer? You just keep, I know what to do with this
Oh,
gun.
yeah. The cop starts monologuing. And you're like, what are you doing? You're monologuing? Look at the size of this guy. And then he cocks the gun and goes, I know how to use this thing. And Rick just grabs it and shoots him in the head with it. Like, right. Do ya?
The cop gets the most surprised look on his face
Like,
with a bullet in his brain. Like, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
I wonder if his face is going to freeze like that so that when the other cops show up, they're like, oh, yeah, he was surprised.
Yeah. Oh, boy. What was he thinking? Some rando comes out and he's like, what's all the racket about?
Yeah, he gets shot.
Gets blown away. And now Ricky is just on his red revolver rampage, just walking down the street looking fucking so ridiculous because he's got the eyebrows going.
Yeah.
He's villain laughing like a maniac, but in sporadic periods, like he's just owning the scene. He's chewing the scenery.
Yes.
I don't get the scene, but this is where the little girl comes in too, right? On the tricycle?
Yeah.
So why didn't he kill her?
Because
she's a little girl. She's innocent.
yeah, heart of a child.
He only kills naughty people.
Yeah.
The guy that just got shot had a beer. I guess that's kind of naughty.
Yeah, right. Well,
What are you doing?
trying to be safe.
Not being naughty.
Yeah. This other guy is lifting up his trash without a back brace. That's naughty.
Yeah, there's not actually a trash bag in the trash can either. There's like loose banana peels
Yeah.
and shit in there.
He needs
That's
to be
naughty.
punished. He needs to be punished for sure. Yeah, the best part of the whole fucking movie, this guy taking out his trash. Garbage day!
Yeah. He just shoots him. Which then became a giant internet meme for a long time.
That was the only part I'd ever seen in this
Yeah.
movie was Garbage Day. I love it. When you take the time to watch the whole movie and put it into context, boy, does it make Garbage Day that much better.
Oh, it sure does, because you don't see it coming at all.
Yeah, right.
It's like, what?
Garbage Day! Sure was.
Yep.
Thanks for the observance. Some motorists get shot and then exploded.
Yeah, he empties the gun on a Chevy Comet. And then we see a super dangerous stunt where
Right.
they two-wheel a car right past the stuntman.
As he barely dodges it.
He barely dodges it,
That's pretty cool.
and then they cut awkwardly in and blow it up.
So he's nuts. He walks into the cops' roadblock, and he's still laughing, and they're like, put down the weapon. He's like, no, and goes to shoot himself, but he's out of lead.
And there was exactly 6 bullets that they used, so I tip my cap to them on
At
that.
least they got that right. Cut back to the present. Ricky has killed the doctor and has busted out of the room. My God, he's loose! Ah! On Christmas Eve.
And then I'm a little sad because I wanted to see him and the orderly throw down.
Yeah, right.
Even if it does only last a couple seconds and he just pulls the orderly's head off.
Right.
And then throws it through to other orderlies.
I could have gone for a little karate fight, and like, your karate does nothing to me.
Yeah.
I'm Ricky.
I'm Ricky.
The story of Ricky O. Could have gone all Ricky-O right here.
Yeah.
Sam. That would have been sweet. He's jacked a Salvation Army Santa's suit and is now posing as Santa. That guy died. He's now posing as Santa, and he calls Mother Superior and he's like, "Hey, did you know it's garbage day? Because your garbage time is coming, lady."
Yeah, garbage time.
Yeah. Now she's got gross face.
Yeah, they had to get a new actress, so they
Okay.
gave the character leprosy. I'm guessing.
That's what I thought too.
What's the
looks like
prognosis, Doc?
Jackie said leprosy, and we're watching it, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's all I can figure too.
Yeah,
she's got leprosy now.
Doc, what do you think? What do you think we do? Well, I don't know. She's got gross face. There's not a whole lot you can do.
I was kind of wondering if they were going to go for like a pus pop or something like that on her.
Or like there was a deleted scene where she got burned or something, like because of Billy, but that never happened, and so she just has random gross face.
They made a flashback when she had the stroke, and she was like making eggs, and then just goes, "Rah!" and then right into the frying pan or something. That would be funny.
If she was drunk, she wouldn't have had that stroke.
No,
Safety first.
she just passed out on the kitchen floor and pissed herself again.
Yeah, that's still safe.
Linoleum
Yeah.
safety.
That's how you get rid of the STDs, is you piss out all that Tecate. So he hacks his way through her front door, and then she locks herself in the bedroom door. Upstairs, while she's in a wheelchair, which is kind of weird, doesn't get explained, hacks his way through her bedroom door, and she then dodges his axe by falling back down the stairs.
There's like a wheelchair upstairs, and there's another chair. And for a second, I thought that they had those like power things that went down the stairs.
right.
I was like, oh, I didn't know they had those in the 80s. And there's like two weird rails, but it never quite explains that's how she's doing it.
She's got an upstairs wheelchair and
So
a downstairs wheelchair.
What it seems like is that she just has an upstairs wheelchair, a downstairs wheelchair, and because she sort of like tumbles down the stairs, grabs the banister and hops right into the chair like,
She's
oh,
done
I
this
guess that's
before.
how she does that every day.
Yeah, this is an old hat.
Getting up is much harder, but getting down, just, let gravity do the trick for you.
I want to know why she lives in apartment 666.
Oh, you
Right.
caught that? Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
she's-
catch that until the trivia stuff.
I think she wouldn't have been like, look, I'm in a wheelchair and this is a 2-story and the number's not helping. I'm going to pass on this rental. But
Yeah,
no,
it's kind of a dick move.
come on, dude. She doesn't live at 666 Street, whatever. Come on.
666 Street, whatever. Part 4.
She grabs a knife and is like, you've been naughty. Come and get your punishment. He's like, oh, yeah? Naughty this. That's literally
Yeah.
his line.
Naughty this.
And gives her the axe. The cops show up, and they're looking, copy, like, looking.
This detective guy has been in a couple Williamson movies, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not really anybody, but I was like, I know him. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's Williamson movies. All right, I got it.
They're looking through all the rooms. And they find Mother Superior upstairs, and the other nun who's had maybe a couple lines is there as well. I guess
She's
just gets going
supposed to be
crime
the
scene.
nun from the first movie, but she's not
Not at all.
even close.
Yeah. She's like, Mother Superior, you're okay? Oh, your head's off. Gross. And then Ricky is there. He's like, die, lady. But the cops just blast him in the chest a bunch of times. Very un-Ricky-esque, this move right here for some reason. And he dies. Or
does he? Because when Sister Mary wakes up to Mother Superior's head on the floor again, she screams again, and then he wakes up and he smiles.
He's like, yeah, that's nice. Maybe he's like that guy from the Sorority Party Massacre that follows up in the third one called Hard to Die, because that guy just can't be killed. Maybe he's like that. You know?
Bruce Willis?
Wait, what? Bruce Willis can't be killed?
Near as I can tell, no.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he's like Bruce Willis, I guess. Then.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Question time. Sam, let's go with you first.
He's okay?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah,
I think
well,
we answered
obviously.
that at the beginning.
Yeah,
but
he's fine. I'd like to see
okay.
that short. That'd be fun.
yeah, it's too bad that they couldn't get him for 3, because I would be like, we should watch 3 right now.
There's a third one of these?
No.
There's
Oh, I thought there
5?
wasn't. Oh, that's right. There is.
And the 3 that come after this actually get like bigger names, like Robert Culp is in one of them, and they're all direct to video, but they end up like getting some actors who've seen better days say.
Yeah, without
Mickey Rooney's in one of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Without Ricky, there's just no reason to show up on any of these. I mean, Santa murdering people again. Yeah, forget it. I only care about Ricky. That's what I'm here for. I could have had this movie. This movie could have just been Ricky and Doc Henry slinging their dicks around at each other for an entire hour and a half, and I would have been like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Nothing can happen. Just this really bad dialogue and these crazy eyebrows going 100 miles an hour. That's the movie I want to see.
So why did the doctor start sweating profusely after the umbrella story?
Yeah.
That's just fun because he's like, they didn't tell me that part. Because I wrote down specifically, this is the first time that they're actually talking about Ricky.
Right.
Before that, he's just talking about his brother.
Right.
He's like, oh my God, this is new. What? Oh, geez.
But he had to have known about the Red Revolver rampage.
That's, I guess, it. And maybe that's just a shooting deal, so it's not as, shoving an umbrella through a man.
He yelled garbage day and shot a guy for no reason. If you're a psychiatrist that can't handle a story about a mob guy getting an umbrella shoved through his tummy, well, come on.
Electrocuted a man in his own car, causing his eyeballs to explode.
Yeah, I mean, you don't belong there, buddy. You're unqualified. Yeah, screw Doc Henry. Does Christmas have anything to do with this movie?
No. Just the time of year.
Yeah.
No, not
and
really.
Santa. I mean, you could replace Santa with anything.
The
The
Easter
Easter
Bunny.
Bunny.
Or just
Oh, Sam, snap.
a football player. And now he's obsessed with football players. Anybody in uniform you could replace with. And it doesn't even have to be a mythological figure. And it would be the exact same movie. It's Christmas.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah. What? He's Charlie Brown?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of weird things to replace him with. Alf.
Oh.
Charlie Brown.
Oh, okay.
A Care Bear.
Yeah, right. Okay. No, it has nothing to do with Christmas, which I'm going to go ahead and follow that up with. Does it capture the true meaning of Christmas?
No.
Nope. Sure doesn't.
Does it even try?
Doesn't
though?
even take a look at it.
No, it doesn't. Not even lip service to it.
So no, I don't think that this is a Christmas movie.
No.
But yeah, okay. Anybody else?
No.
No.
All right, final recommendations. I'm going to go first because it's my movie. I liked it. This is one of the worst movies ever made and very poorly rated against all platforms.
0 RT.
Yeah, but dude, I really fucking had a good time with this, even though half of the movie isn't the movie that I came to watch. It's a different movie.
Yeah.
I usually hate that. Man, I just because of Ricky. I mean, he just fucking owns. He just rules. How bad it is.
Uh-huh.
Is. So definitely for me, I loved it.
Yeah.
Jackie?
Yeah. I'm going to give it a do.
Okay.
I thought it was funny. And probably wasn't meant to be funny, but I thought it was funny. And I think that the trash day was so amazing to me. I just that's all I could think about afterwards. Trash day! Bam!
It's as big of as a what is anything from say Miami Connection.
Oh, yeah.
Or I mean just any Samurai Cop, all of it.
And I think Garbage Day is just icing. The whole Ricky rampage is just beautiful.
I think if we were to redo the intro to the podcast, Sam, Garbage Day would be a line that would be at. It's that good. It's just that good. Sammy, you're also giving it a do.
I'm giving it a super do because I didn't see the first one and I don't fucking have to. So this movie isn't just fun to watch, but it killed 2 birds with 1 stone, which is a rare thing.
Did you a favor?
It did me a favor.
Solid movie. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, 3 do's from us. If you bothered to listen to this podcast without actually watching it, it is currently streaming on Amazon Prime. We've got some listener feedback. First with a little bit of "You're Wrong, Idiot."
You're wrong, idiot. I saw this on Facebook.
Starring both Sam and me.
Yep.
But I'm gonna be
Try to
less of an idiot because
dodge it.
Technically, you said the idiotic thing first, and I just agreed. I assumed you knew what you were talking about because you have this air of oh, I know what I'm talking about. But it turns out that you're an idiot. So
Yeah.
vicariously from you being an idiot,
Sure.
I'm also an idiot.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Yep. I was pretty wishy-washy. I was like, was he the Riddler? He was the Riddler,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
On
No,
Facebook, Mark Clegg says, Burgess Meredith did not play the Riddler. He was the Penguin, for God's sake. Holy misleading information, Batman.
Yeah, we need to get a label maker so we don't get things confused. They were able to do that on the series.
What would we do with the label maker?
I don't know.
Just start pasting Post-it notes all over the wall?
Yeah, sure.
Burgess Meredith
was the Penguin.
Random trivia
which
that we could...
is like 3.5 feet long with a label maker. I don't even know where we'd put it.
So thanks, Mark. Way to keep us on our toes. Also, we've heard from fan Melinda Statter, who emailed us, talk@stinkermadness.com. We always love emails. She says, hey, guys.
Hi.
Yeah, the end. Bye.
Hi.
I just remembered, have you guys ever watched that 2004 adaptation of The Phantom of the Opera? I have. She says that. I have not. When I was 14, I thought it was the bee's knees, but I now realize it's pretty garbage day, even with the nostalgia glasses on. While the sets and costumes are great, and Emmy Rossum turned out to be pretty good as Christine, the biggest problem is this. For some reason, Gerard Butler plays the Phantom, but had no prior experience in singing, and instead of having one of the real singers cover the songs for him, they gave him a couple lessons and said, yeah, you're ready to portray the most recognizable character in all the theater. Remember that the show has been on stage nonstop since the 80s, and by this time, many very talented men had played the part, most notably Hugh Panero, who is talented and hot. Jackie can confirm. Can she? Because I don't know if she knows who Hugh Panero is.
She's looking for him now, though.
Yeah.
I am looking for him right now.
Makes great bread. Yeah. Who I believe had been portraying the Phantom in NYC for several years when the film entered production. As you can tell, this makes me very mad. All in all, an example of how casting can ruin a film. Please rip it apart at your convenience.
You know, that actually has been on my radar for a long time because when I saw it come out, isn't it Baz Luhrmann that did that?
No, it's Schumacher.
Schumacher.
Yeah.
That's why it was one of the two of them. Because when it came out, I was just like, God, this looks like it's going to be so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of those that I was never going to watch by myself. And it's hard to talk people into trying to watch it. And it's also like mid 2 hour, like 2 hour plus situation.
Yeah.
Which is making it.
I
hard as
avoided
well.
it like the plague because I swore I was done. I would never watch another Joel Schumacher again after Batman and Robin. And then I started a shitty podcast where I realized, oh, maybe I kind of like Joel Schumacher.
Yeah.
Maybe I kind of like this crap.
We got to watch DC Cab, see if that's any good.
Yeah, so I will never make it an episode, but I could think of one person in particular who might. But
Yeah.
if it's over 2 hours, we have veto power, Sam. So we'll see.
I can't veto it in good conscience because I feel like it's going to be that bad. That
Singing and dancing, though.
It's all of the things I hate,
Mm-hmm.
but it could be all of the things I hate done so fantastically poor that it's worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I looked this up, and yes, I have seen this movie.
I figured you might have.
It
wasn't a small deal. It was kind of, I wouldn't say a big deal, but it was a deal.
I remember watching it. I had a day off of work, and I got a frozen pizza, and I sat down and watched this movie. And at the time, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good, right?" But it's been a long time,
All right.
and I'm looking at some of these pictures, going, "Fuck, I don't remember that."
Yeah. Well, maybe there you go.
Maybe it's a
hot pick.
revisit time.
Either way, we got to move on, wrap this thing up. We are not going to be doing an episode next week. We are going to take the week off for the holidays. So we will be back to cram one in before the end of the new year. And then we will be back to our normal schedule after that. So next pick is going to be Sam's in 2 weeks. I guess you got some time to lie
We
to us
can
about
announce it. Remember, because I already told you what it was, and you rolled your eyes and you laid on your side and went, oh, because of the
Herbie Fully Loaded.
Oh no, but it does have to do with the Disney Plus, which is the Lord of Evil, and don't get it, but I guess we all have it already.
Well, we got to watch the Man of
The Three Musketeers.
Oh, yes. Right. With Chaz, George Platt,
And
Oliver Platt, Chris O'Donnell,
and Kiefer Sutherland.
and that really good-looking lady from the
Burn list. Burn notice.
Boobs.
No, but not Burn. No,
She's
that's
in
not
Burn
Gabrielle
Notice. Yep,
Anwar.
Gabrielle Anwar is
Oh,
the
is
queen
it?
in this.
Is
Yes.
it? Okay.
And Tim Curry is the Cardinal
Oh,
Richelieu.
Tim Curry! Oh, I can't wait.
He's very Curry.
Oh, I love Tim Curry. Okay, there you go. There's your movie next time, guys. You got plenty of time to watch it. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Get to the chopper.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.